My first video about building a camping sleeping platform for the new 2021 Sienna has been very popular, and I have received many comments and questions about my project. In this video, I want to help those who are interested to build a similar platform by sharing with you my key design considerations and building tips from my project. As an example, I will also provide key measurements of the parts in my build. Hello and welcome to Telvia. The design in this van conversion allows comfortable sleeping for two without removing any rear seats. In my specific build, discussed in this video, I have removed both the second and third row seats to achieve greater convenience and luggage capacity. Please note that in the 2021 Sienna minivan, the second row seats have airbags built into the seats. The Toyota states that the second row seats are not user removable. The disconnection of airbags and circumventing a display warning can cause an accidental airbag discharge and potential injury. For safety reasons, I will not talk about the details of seat removal and airbag warning bypass on the driver display. Consult your automotive professional about seat removal and airbag message bypass questions. Once the second and third row seats are removed, you are ready to design and build your sleeping platform conversion. The total volume of the cargo space behind front seat in this van is impressive. The key dimensions of the cargo space are as follows: 96 inches long from the rear front door to front seats, narrowest width 48 inches above the rear axle, and it is 52 inches wide between sliding doors. The maximum height floor to ceiling, which is behind the front seat, is 42 inches. The floor of the van, however, is not level. It tilts down from the rear axle towards the front seats. So the sleeping platform has to be designed to level the sleeping surface horizontally. The well where the folded third row seats used to be stored is now available for your gear storage and other purposes. We use this rear well for carrying a portable refrigerator, backup battery for the fridge, and the 4.9-gallon container of drinking water. The dimensions and placement of these appliances dictated the height of the bedding platform in my build. Specifically, the tallest item here is IceCo 43-quart refrigerator. This model is well proven, has a 5-year compressor warranty, and its capacity made it the right choice for us. See a link in the description. As you can see, the cover of the well slightly touches the top of the refrigerator when closed. Tight fitting of heavy items in this space serves the purpose of securing the items in place during potential rapid decelerations. Let's name the main parts of the build so we can refer to them without getting confused. Starting from the back, we have back vertical board, rear vertical board, and the front vertical board. The boards are connected by longitudinal connecting elements. Even with the third row seats well used for other purposes, a 72-inch mattress will still fit in the platform behind front seats. However, a 96-inch flatbed platform allows for flexibility of sleeping inside of the van even without removing the second row seats. Let's talk about the function of the structural components in this platform. The front and, to a lesser extent, back and the rear vertical boards bear the weight load of the platform. I made sure that the front vertical board is sitting securely on the third row seat's latch mounts on the floor. Using a Dremel tool with a sanding bit, I carved out pockets that mate with the latch mounts on the floor. These pockets ensure that the weight platform is borne by the seat latch mounts, which are designed to bear a load. The bottom of the back and rear vertical boards rest on the floor of the seat well, and their weight load is evenly distributed. To find correct locations for the holes of ladder legs in the front and rear vertical boards, I extended both ladders inside of the van, propped the tops of ladders behind front seats and at the latch mounts of the third row seats. Then I placed plywood on the top of ladders and made height adjustments to level the platform surface horizontally. Make sure that your van is parked on a level ground when doing this step. As we discussed earlier, the target height of the sleeping platform depends on the dimensions of the items stored in the rear well compartment. While keeping the bed surface flat, measure the height from the floor to the rear vertical board and from the seat latch mounts for the front vertical board to the lowest points of ladder legs. Measure the diameter of the ladder legs and cut holes slightly larger than the legs. To cut the holes, you can use a hole saw or a jigsaw and fine-tune the fit by adjusting with a Dremel tool with sanding bit. For the front board, instead of holes, I simply made cutouts that allow legs to be flush with the top edge of the front board. Please note that because the top sections of telescopic ladders are smaller in diameter, to make sure that the boards of the bed structure will be evenly in contact with the ladder sections, the holes for the legs in the rear vertical board are slightly lower than in the front vertical board. To ensure that the ladder sections are reproducibly in contact with the bed plywood boards, I installed a ladder section extension limiter made of a tie-down strap. Once I extended each ladder section to a desired distance, I attached the strap to the middle of each step with a small tapping screw. Now it is much easier to extend each ladder by simply pulling the strap for full extension. Before cutting the holes in the rear vertical board, I attached it to 2 additional plywood planks at the top edge on the front of the rear board. This is to provide a mounting surface and clearance space for opening and closing the rear well compartment cover and for folding and unfolding the bedding platform sections. I used piano hinges to connect the folding bed sections and to attach the fridge well cover boards. Please note that the higher you build your platform, the less height you will have for entering and exiting the bed area and less headroom to be able to seat comfortably on your bed. The backboard height is determined by placing plywood over the back and the rear boards and making it to be horizontally leveled. The backboard's primary function is to support the well cover boards. When I originally designed this section, we planned to use a Jackery 1000 backup battery, and I had a second longitudinal connecting element between the refrigerator and the battery. We later replaced the Jackery 1000 with Jackery 1500 battery to get more capacity, which is larger, and to fit it next to the refrigerator, I had to remove that connecting element. The single remaining connecting element, however, is sufficient to keep the back vertical board in place. I suggest first assembling the rear and front vertical boards with ladder legs inserted through the holes and adjusting the position of boards to keep them vertical. You now can measure the length of the connecting longitudinal elements. Using a Craig's screw pocket hole maker, install connecting elements between the vertical boards. The rubber feet of the ladders can be removed, the legs inserted in the rear board holes, and the rubber feet can be put back to cover sharp edges of the legs. The main function of the rear board is to hold the ends of telescopic ladders and to serve as a structural element for securing the entire rig to the remaining rear seat latch mounts with a strap. A ratchet strap wrapped around the legs of the ladders is used to secure a structure to the most rear seat latch mounting elements. The ratcheting strap pulls the ladders and structure to the floor and holds the whole structure solidly in place. As you can see, the distance between legs of the ladders and the rear axle hump on the floor is only 4 inches. This limits how much lower the bed platform can be built. When the structure is fully folded, I was able to use the straps that came with ladders for keeping the extending elements together to secure the folded ladders to the sleeping platform through the holes I cut with a hole saw to reduce weight. To prevent unavoidable squeaks, I used small cabinet door pads around perimeter of platform elements and where 2 panels touch each other. This quieted the structure on the smooth roads, but when driving over bumps or on a rough road, the structure still made some rattling noise. To solve this, I put 2 Velcro straps binding all folded elements together, and now the whole structure is dead silent on any road surface. One important consideration when building a structure like this is the ability to access the spare tire and battery compartments on the side walls of the van. With right cover of the well open, I still can access the battery compartment. To be able to remove the spare tire, I cut the left side of the well cover diagonally, making it shorter about 1.5 inches at the back. Now I can remove the cover and spare tire without any dismantling of the platform. A couple of recommendations to prevent the bed structure touching or rubbing panels of the van. Cut your bed boards, leaving 1/4 to 1/2 inch clearance between the plywood and the side wall or back door panels. This clearance would not affect your sleeping comfort, as the mattress will cover the gaps. As promised, these are pictures with overlaid dimensions of my platform parts for your reference. Use them as a guide, not as a recipe. When designing and building my platform, I tried several different ladder types, sizes, and brands, and selected products and materials that work well in this build. Please take advantage of my research and experience and use the products I used listed in the video description. We tested our sleeping conversion on several trips and found it to be very functional and convenient to use. In fact, we are getting ready for our next trip right now. In the future video, I will show you what we bring with us and how we use our Sienna and our gear on a camping trip or in travel. Please like this video to let me know that you would be interested to see it. Thank you for watching this video to the end. I hope it was helpful. I would love to see your comments, likes, and you as a subscriber. See you in the next video. Cheers!